I bought 3 freestanding panels to replace some of that old fence I tore out this summer. It's gonna go along with this corral I guess I built this fall too. But we're gonna go hook up to the trailer and pick up those freestanding panels and get them in today, along with putting up some other electric fence and some odd jobs like that. So let's go get hooked up and get to it. I'm gonna hook my pickup up to my dad's trailer here. This is the trailer we use for the custom cabinets and stuff. My dad's gonna let me use it today. It's gonna be a little short for these panels, but with how the legs are placed on the panels, I think I'll be able to fit them on there by just letting them hang off the back with a flag and then hanging them over this front bar a little bit. So it should work. I'll go get them and get them loaded up, and I'll meet you guys at the cattle yard. Tried lifting that panel off, got about part of the way, and then it flipped on me. I couldn't quite catch it, so I got it flipped over a little more, take the back pane and lift her over. So I already got one down and drug over there, kind of like a harrow almost, but we'll get these other ones taken care of now, hopefully. Well, I was able to get it flipped up. I was able to lift it up just enough to kick this block under it. That way I could get it underneath of it and lift it up. And you know what they say, lift your back, not your legs. I'm kidding, don't listen to that, but there wasn't really a good way to lift it, so that's what I had to do. And pulled it over here. We'll slide it in here by hand now. Got this pile of dirt here I kind of left when I brought my uncle's loader over here, so gotta get this scooped up before I can lay in this next panel here. So I'll get that scooped up quick. Load number 1. Oh, my shovel fell off. So for about a month when I didn't have any cattle here, or maybe it's probably a little over a month, I put in all this new fence here for a couple reasons. For this little section here, you know, I got some on here. I wanted to make a little bit of a corral because I never really had a good way to load them out. So I was always chasing them around and getting them all worked up right before I sell them, and you don't want to do that. So I just needed some way to load them out easier. So I built this little corral out of 2x8s. And the second reason is because I also never really had a good way to treat them. I don't have a chute here or anything, so I was just always trying to chase them in a, you know, a little corner or something to try to get them treated, or I've roped them before, and it's just so much stress on the cattle, and it's just, you know, I just need an easier way to do it too. So hopefully I can get a little section that comes off of that corner there, and I'll eventually get a chute to put there to be able to treat the cattle. And then maybe, I guess, gate right here, I'm gonna put a swing gate across. I already had that gate, so that should work good. And maybe get one to go up across there. All right, time to put in some electric fence. I'm all up at the farthest point here. The home place is right there, so a long ways to go. Got all the way down to kind of down that hill down there, and all the way up that. This has barbed wire on it. Could put hot wire on it. We'll see what time does for me. So let's go run and do this. Kind of had this idea. Usually I walk it all out, but had a bent post, stuck it in there. Looks like it might work, so we're gonna give her a whirl. It worked. Got that hole ran. Kind of had to hold it like this because it's catching in that thing, and it's getting pretty daggone violent. We're catching a bunch of weeds too. So here's where these two creeks run into each other. There's one coming from that way, and there's this one coming here. This one's got a little more water in it than this one, and they just come to a T right here. So hopefully, like all the other spots, this is so dang steep for them to walk down in there. Hopefully this isn't nearly as steep. They can walk down in here, and there's a nice kind of level spot that goes, like most of the time it just drops right off, but this kind of like fades down into the creek a lot better. So hopefully I should be able to get down this to drink. You know, good water movement here. You want your water moving, because if it's sitting stale, then, you know, like different bacteria and stuff can start to form, and they can catch different diseases and things like that. So you want your water moving, new fresh water coming in, and should be a good spot for them to get in here and drink. What I'm gonna have to do now is, you can see, well, you probably can't, my wire's running right there. I got a wire running right here, so they can really just walk right underneath this wire. In the past, in different fields, I brought the wire down, and that works fine. But sometimes when it snows a whole lot and it drifts, then this creek will drift shut, and then the wire will get buried in snow, and it can ground it out, or it can make it weak, and you have to dig out fence and stuff. So I'm gonna leave these wires high like this and just run them over top the creek. And I'm gonna take a couple cattle panels and just go down these banks of the creek right here. That way they can't get up into the neighbor's field, because that side's the neighbor's. So same thing over there, just that bank. Just put a cattle panel down like that, and a cattle panel down like that, and then that'll keep them from going down the creek. Is the water good, Henry? I'm gonna get a drink too. I think creek water is honestly the best water to drink. It tastes super good. Just on that creek, I gotta go all the way around in order to get back to that side. So I grabbed some bridge boards out of the barn. Might be able to lay them across the creek when we can find a spot that's, you know, not as wide. Pretty much a dadgum airplane right now, but let's take flight. That should be about right. See how she works. Hopefully she holds. Like a charm. Look at that. Works like a charm. Flex on the board isn't super crazy. It's flexing some, but I think it'll be all right. What do you think, huh? That'll save a lot of time. So I got this pickup a couple days back for like $300, and I got it because my buddy's got some ground set aside, and that we can go hoon these things around in and swing them around and jump them and just be dumb young guys. And then once they're kind of shot, you just bring them to scrap and you get your money right back out of them. And I got a Dodge Durango that I love, so I can rob parts off it, then bring it to scrap. However, this thing's got a nice 4-wheel drive, runs like a top, pretty good farm rig. I might have to keep her around. Got cattle panels. Droop right over top the roof. Works like a charm. Tell you what, might have to keep this thing around. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's not like we're going down the road with it, so heck, she works. They're a little bouncy, but it's working beautifully. So I got this cattle panel down here. I think I'm gonna be able to get away with just one across the center here, and just put a couple posts in and wire it to them. I have to be careful because this wire is hot. So hopefully I don't hit it with a post or hit my head on it or hit the panel on it and get a little zap. But we'll get these put in, one here and one there, and that should work pretty well. So I got this panel across here. I got some smaller chunks that I cut out of hog panels. I'm gonna put one down there because they probably can't get through there, but rather be safe than sorry. Might throw one right here too. And then I might add a couple more posts. I'm gonna have to add that piece. Just because them posts went in, they're super duper easy and I need more posts anyways, but yeah, I barely even had to try to pound them posts in. So we'll get them in. I'm gonna go feed calves really quick before it gets any more dark, and then I'll put that panel in on that side over there. I did put in about 1.5 miles worth of electric fence around about 5/8 of this field where there's no barbed wire or anything. I was hoping to get some videos of me doing that and make a video about it, but unfortunately I did a pretty poor job of filming it. I put in about 90% of this fence in the dark at nighttime, so it's kind of hard to film during then, and even during the daytime there's pretty much nowhere or nothing to set a camera on to film me doing stuff, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna throw in a couple clips that I did get of me putting in an electric fence, but it's just a clip here and there explaining some stuff, and it's not gonna be in any order or anything, so sorry again about that, but here's some of them clips. took my little bridge I made here. I was kind of going along there and I just turned. Note to self, if you're pulling the wagon, don't turn onto the bridge because you got to remember your wagon. So the wagon kind of fell in between my boards. So luckily I got my poles strapped in. Hopefully we can just pull on out of it. I'll give her a whirl here. Come on, wagon. We're good. Heck yeah, Henry, cross the bridge, bud. All right, so I'm gonna put a tie wire going from this fence, or this wire here, onto that wire that goes north to south. That way, you know, carries electricity from that wire to this wire. Got to cross the creek here. We'll put this around our neck. There we go. Now we should be ready to jump this creek, as long as I don't lose nothing out of my pockets. All right. While we're over here, I'm gonna pull these wires tight too. Make sure these are all snug and good to go. Okay, I got the wires tied together now. The power is coming from this side, this wire running north to south. So I got it wrapped here. And you can see I got it wrapped around this wire quite a few times, and then around kind of where it ties back to. Just trying to suck as much power as I can, or just get a nice solid connection. Ties over, wrapped it around this side here. Went all around where it kind of loops through this insulator too. So should have a good connection here. Maybe I'll add another one. All right, we got it. Let's cross the creek again. Henry, ready, bud? Oh, barely made it. Go. Young. Good leap. Henry's driving me back home here quick. That's what I had for clips that turned out to me putting in this electric fence. But it's all in now. Next video, the cattle will be getting turned out into the corn stalk. So that's always one of the best days of the year. The cattle are happy, so it's good to see. Also, these past two videos and the next one or two were filmed at the end of October and in November. So you're kind of questioning the timing and the weather stuff. That's the explanation for it. But anyways, kind of a cut up, laid back video today. So I really appreciate you guys watching, and eat beef. But God bless. We'll see you later.